Hello and welcome to my review of the remake of Fright Night, starring Anton Yelchin, Colin Farrell, and David Tennant. Fright Night centers on a teenager named Charlie, played by Anton Yelchin, who's in a weird phase in his life. He's transitioning between his more dweebish nerd friends and the more popular cool crowd in high school, after recently scoring with a very attractive new girlfriend. But one day his old friend calls him and says that there's a vampire living next door, and naturally he doesn't believe him. But of course, Colin Farrell's Jerry reveals himself as a devilish, evil vampire with a thirst for the blood of everybody in the neighborhood. Now, I've never seen the original Fright Night, so I just went into this movie as a fresh experience, hoping to find that it would just be a fun vampire movie, and let me tell you, that's exactly what this movie delivered. The cast in the movie is all very solid. Anton Yelchin's really becoming a nice leading man, and he's pretty believable as a teenager here, and he's got a nice mix of kind of cocky swagger and earnestness that really makes him believable and carries the film well. David Tennant, who I didn't mention before, plays a vampire expert who's really just kind of a drunk on his last rung kind of loser, is also very good, and he has a nice character arc in the film, and he brings some really good comedy to the movie as well. But the real star here is Colin Farrell, who plays Jerry the Vampire. This guy just has a really intimidating presence. You know, right from the start, this is someone you do not want coming near you. And when he explodes into this killing machine, you really believe it. And he's pretty menacing throughout the whole film. I do find that there's one weak link in the cast, and that is Christopher Mintz-Plasse, who you may know better as McLovin. He has a role in this movie, and he's just becoming very weak. He's kind of becoming like a Danny McBride type case, where it's just a one-joke character that's managed to expand and poison all of these movies. And I don't know, he just brings the whole movie down for me, and he's just not funny at all. This movie has a really nice balance of horror and comedy, which is rare. Most filmmakers kind of screw up one or the other. And the whole movie just has this really fun, rockling tone. It really moves along in a nice clip, doesn't waste too much time setting everything up, and it's just a fun film all the way through. It's just that anybody expecting anything too horrifying might be a little disappointed. At the helm is Greg Gillespie, who doesn't have a very encouraging resume. The only movie I've seen by him is Mr. Woodcock, which was not good. But besides from that, he really does have a nice style. Like I mentioned before, he does move the movie along in a nice clip. He directs the actors well, the comedy flows really well. But he also has a couple of scenes where he really gets to show off his style, especially in particular this one scene, this one chase scene where Jerry the Vampire is chasing Charlie and his family in a night. And the camera is basically, it's all one shot as the camera moves in and out in between the cars. Jerry's like ramming it and bumping it and all that stuff. It really feels like you're on a theme park ride. And while I didn't see this movie in 3D, because I just hate 3D and I boycott it altogether, this was one scene where I really wish I kind of had, just because it felt like kind of having that extra perspective would have really added to it. And it takes a lot to make me wish I was watching something in 3D, so props to Greg Gillespie for that. Overall, aside from some gimmicky 3D scenes and Christopher Mintz-Plasse, who I just can't stand, Fright Night is a really fun horror action comedy that I do recommend you go see, and I give it 3 stars out of 4. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Because if you don't, I'll send a vampire after you. And until the next review, I'm Movie Kid Mike, making sure your time is worth your money.